Alright, today let's go meet Ace Frehley. Lead guitar, woo! So I'm going to I'm only in an alley, so I'm not driving on a highway. I'm going to the Days of the Dead Festival, and we're going to meet Ace Frehley. And then I'll tell you about some new CD and record purchases I have. Alright, let's go. So I drove 20 minutes to the Days of the Dead convention, which is primarily a horror movie convention, but they do have kind of pop culture guests from time to time. Stood in line for an hour to get my ticket to the event. Went right to the ACE VIP line because I had pre-purchased a photo op. Thankfully, I was first in that VIP line because the general admission line was growing by the minute. And like all rock stars, Ace was fashionably late, about 2 hours late. Finally got in there. They put him behind a curtain. Ace seemed very tired, to say the least. Probably sick of signing autographs the whole weekend. So I was glad to get in there, get out, and enjoy my Ace stuff. And here you go. Got my Ace signature on my personal copy since I was a kid. It's a little banged up, but I figured why buy a new copy to have him sign something that doesn't, this is my childhood copy of the Ace Frehley solo record. So glad to have him sign there. Let's look at some other Ace stuff I have. Of course, Ace is 72 and still with us. Yes, the power of Kiss. This is Spaceman. Put this out not too long ago. Well, it's probably going to be a long time ago. 2018 it says, I think. But yeah, I like Spaceman. This is his version of Space Truckin'. It's a picture disc. Space Truckin' by Space Ace. Also does Mission to Mars and Return of Space Bear. Space Ace. Ace Frehley, Trouble Walkin'. Another solo record of his. This is on Megaforce from 1989. This has Do Ya, his cover song of Do Ya in Fractured 3. Frehley's Comet, this was a big seller too way back when. Live Plus One. Who did he have? He had Anton Fig doing drums again. And this was 1988. So he does Rip It Out, Break Out, Something Move, Rocket Ride, and Words Are Not Enough, which was a studio track from Ace Frehley. And last but not least, of course, a lot of Ace fans own this one's Frehley's Comet. This is the big one with Rock Soldiers. It's one of my least favorite Ace solo songs, even though it was a big hit of his and all that. Rock Soldiers, I don't know. There's just so many other cool songs that he has. Fractured 2, the instrumental. So yeah, this was 1987 on this one. Yeah, so he had a good resurgence when Kiss was plain and no more makeup in the 80s. Ace in the late 80s had a good resurgence. He's got I believe his new solo album's coming out really soon, so yeah. Of course, next week I'm going to see Kiss for the final time, their fourth to last show. But hey, this video is about Ace, Space Ace. So yeah, it was really cool. I just said hi, and enjoy your work. I didn't want to hold up the line by telling him every Ace Frehley story I ever had. But yeah, he seemed really tired, but he has a great signature. So that was good times. Good times with Ace Frehley. I also picked this up recently. A Monster magazine with Gene on the front. It's also got drawings of the other three Kiss guys in there, so that's pretty cool. So also at this show, two guys from Skid Row, Dave and Rachel, had them sign their debut. I was not the world's biggest Skid Row fan when this came out. I liked the little harder stuff. I started getting into indie music and all that. But since then, yeah, I appreciate Skid Row. I'm not afraid to say I'm a Skid Row fan. And my favorite from Skid Row would be Slave to the Grind. This is a reissue of this one. Slave to the Grind. So that's my favorite. I also have Generation Waste on CD somewhere. It's the one after this. And they have, I think, one or two other albums with the singer after Sebastian Bach, and they just released one with singer after Sebastian Bach. So they're still going out there, Skid Row. Yeah, so it was nice. Those guys are really, really nice. Really, really nice guys. I got to chat a little bit with them. And also at the show, another main reason I was going to go besides Ace was Harry Hamlin, the star of Clash of Titans. Of course, this early 80s movie. Everyone loves Clash of Titans. And it was kind of funny because I believe his stand was right next to adult film actress Tracy Lord's stands. And a few stands away from Tracy Lord's was Jenna Jameson. So a lot of adult actresses, you might say. So it's always fun. You never know who's going to be at these conventions. So this will look good. So the Ace record I'm going to put up against with my Peter. What? Ace will be next to my Peter. And then Clash of the Titans will go on the shelf with all the figures there. That'll look really nice. And Skid Row, I have no idea. No idea we're going to put Skid Row. But for now, let's put the Skid Row here. So yeah, it's always a nice to get. I like to get autographs. You know, old days you just got autographs. Nowadays you go to conventions and pay a fee. And Ace was $60. Harry Hamlin was another $60. And to get the 2 Skid Row guys was $100 for the album. So it's like $50 each for that. Yeah, high, low, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to get autographs. You got to save a little bit and you get them. Some celebrities and stars are like 100, 200, 300 athletes, 400 something. Oh, it's crazy. So I have my limit. I don't like to go over like 80, 100 or so for an autograph. So yeah, I've been buying other stuff. Let's check out what I've got. Got this at an estate sale. Charlie Brown Christmas. Of course, Christmas right around the corner. Right around the corner. You gotta get some Chuck Brown there. Motley Crue. I don't not like this album as much as I thought. I like the first 2 Motley Crue albums, like a lot of people. Theater of Pain is the tour I saw them on for the first time, and it kind of lost me with that one. I never really was way into them like I was with the first 2 albums. I kind of like, I liked them, but I wasn't actively like seeking to purchase their stuff anymore. But this is Dr. Feelgood. That song was all over MTV. Headbangers Ball, all that kind of stuff. It's got the slow song Without You. I like that one a lot. Kickstart My Heart. So it's got some good songs. It's got some cheesy songs, which kind of pulled me away from the Crew. But yeah, I like this a lot better than I thought I was going to like it. So it was nice to revisit Dr. Feelgood. Getting to the cheesy category. But, you know, it's eccentric. It's overplayed. It's oversang. But the whole record, talking about Nitro OFR, out freaking rageous. 9 songs, you want to do 3 or 4 at a time. Gets a little overbearing, I guess, in a way. Heavy metal stuff, but yeah, 89, this was fun stuff. Jim Gillette, of course, on vocals. Michelangelo on guitar. He's a guy who can play guitar like this and upside down and around his head, and yeah. Nothing as cool as Space Ace with the smoking guitar or the shooting like rockets from the guitar. Nothing beats Ace. But yeah, it's fun. I have it on vinyl. Finally got it on CD. So Baton Rouge, another band you'd lump in like with a late 80s heavy metal, hair metal kind of scene. It's like a cat hair floating around. I finally got their CD, Shake Soul. I think they have 2 or 3. I think they have 3 out. This came out kind of later. Came out in 90. That's the year, of course. You know, a lot of people were starting to get out of that thing. Pick these up at a estate sale, Jerky Boys 1 and 2. There's some fun stuff. It's like $1 each. Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge, which reminds me, I do have the new Rolling Stones record. Hold on a second. So I do have the regular version of the new Rolling Stones record. I was going to do a review, but there's a lot of people doing reviews of it. The Stones, to me, like pretty much after this one, came pretty bland, kind of cheesy. I think Lonesome Blue, I need to check that one out. That's kind of more bluesy, they say. It was pretty good. I mean, you see the Stones live, and they're awesome. They're going to play all the old songs and all the hits, you know. But this new album has gotten great reviews, so I wanted to check it out. I bought the Chicago White Sox version. I'm not a fan of Major League Baseball. To me, the sport goes way too slow. I love hockey. But as a kid, I used to go see the Sox. I used to get perfect attendance awards in like grade school and stuff because my parents would never let me call in sick for school. They're like, if our butts are getting up for work, your butt's getting up for school. So I wasn't one of those kids that can like call in sick with a cool parent that, you know, that I was off to school no matter what. So I'd get perfect attendance all the time, and as a reward for perfect attendance in the 80s, they'd give me 2 free White Sox tickets. So me and my dad would go see them in the mid to late 80s. Usually they were, or early to mid 80s, they were usually playing like Cleveland Indians or somebody. And yeah, so I got this. And I do have the regular version somewhere upstairs. So anyway, yeah, so a CD, I got that. I got Saga Worlds Apart on CD. I have it on LP. It's not really common to find on CD. Queen, Kind of Magic. Not one of their best ones. Weezer, the Green Album. That is one of their best ones. It's a really good record. Weezer's hit or miss. Unfortunately, more miss lately than hiss, but than hit. This has Hash Pipe and Island in the Sun. Those are 2 big ones. Led Zeppelin, How the West Was Won. These are a bunch of songs, obviously, from them. I believe some are like from a concert, I believe. I don't know. I bought a few Zeppelin things recently, and I forgot. Yeah, so these are from June 25th and June 27th, 1972. And it came out in 2003, so it took Jimmy Page a few years to clean out the closet and find this. But it's great. Great version of these songs. It's Led Zeppelin. Mike Tramp, you might know from White Lion. He's still around and touring. He does a lot of solo stuff, but he plays White Lion songs. After White Lion kind of fizzled out, like I said, in the late 80s, the hair scene, people were kind of over that. He did a band called Freak of Nature. Some of the songs are very good, like a lot of bands from that era, when they kind of tried to fit in more. And lose the Hairspray image and kind of fit in with the hard rock image. They all should maybe put out EPs because they have a few good songs and then other songs kind of like filler where they're trying too hard. But it's pretty good. I really enjoy singing. The first 2-3 songs, like I say, are great. The album starts, it just kind of loses me after a while. Speaking about 80s metal, now locally in the Chicago area, we had this bar club called the Thirsty Whale. And as soon as you say that, a lot of people smile and kind of snicker with the Hairspray. It was our LA scene in Chicago. And a lot of the bands playing the club used to be on this comp. The club owner put out these comps way back then. And I've always been looking for them. They're always on my list of things to look for. And they're not come by cheap, so I was just trying to find estate sales or flea markets, just happened to come by them. And it didn't. But a local record store got 3 versions of them in, and I was swooped them up. So this is volume 5. I believe this is from 1989. It's got bands like Odette, Cherry Rocket. you know kind of music when you listen to Cherry Rocket. Radica, Outrage, Fugitive, Gypsy Blue, Jared Sin. Yeah, so there's some great stuff. There's some stuff that's It's usually because the singer wasn't that good. Like, that's the hardest thing to find in a band is like a good quality singer. But yeah, there's a lot of echoey, that kind of 80s heavy metal production. But it's good. It's fun stuff, man. It's fun stuff. So this is volume 5. And this is volume 6. This one had Red Baron, Catch-22, Stonehenge, a long-time heavy metal band in the Chicago area. Stonehenge, but yeah, this is volume 6. I believe this came out in 90. Also, maybe later that year, 90, version 7 came out. I really like this version. Version 7 has Nikki Fox, Theater, Cutlass, No Romeo, which is a band. Wicked Rhyme was a band, and they changed singers out, and I think they became No Romeo. So yeah, if you love 80s metal, from not so much thrash, but from harder heavy metal to heavy metal, then the kind of the poppy hair metal stuff, these are great comps, especially if you're from Chicago area, because you're like, oh, I remember seeing that band on the flyer. And a few of these, none of these bands ever really hit it big, which is a shame, because there are a few that they had something to say to the scene. They could have been bigger, but they just didn't. A lot of Chicago bands were cursed, just didn't break it big. Yeah, so that's that. So from Ace Frehley to the heavy metal CDs, it's been a great little time. Next video is going to be me doing the KISS VIP experience. Stay tuned for that. You want to subscribe and all that stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.